Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Grief Talk. I am Kenesha Nichelle and welcome. So today we're going to be talking about finding your identity and speak life. So a couple announcements before we get into today's topic. One, if you are watching me, you see this shirt that I am wearing. It says, "A piece of my heart lives in heaven." And so I have started this new lifestyle brand, which is called Angel in Heaven. And it is to be a sentimental and spiritual based brand created out of the desire to remember our loved ones that have transitioned to heaven. And so that one catch-all phrase that we always say is gone but not forgotten. And so I just felt that there should be, tangible and meaningful ways that we can express that our loved ones is no longer here, that they have truly gone on and transitioned to heaven. But that doesn't mean that we have forgotten about them. And so Angel in Heaven is going to launch officially this Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. That website is shopangelinheaven.com, where you will find this t-shirt that I am wearing, as well as this mug that also says the same signature collection line, which is "A piece of my heart lives in heaven." And for some of us, it may be several pieces. I know I have several pieces that live in heaven. But I just wanted to create something that was meaningful and a tangible expression for us to be able to declare out loud, boldly, that even though our loved ones may not be here present with us on this side of the earth, we have not forgotten about them. Other people may have gone on to their regular lives and are continuing to move forward, but we have not forgotten that their soul and their memories and the love and the connection that we have with them will forever live with us. And so that's what this brand is. And so it is, again, shopangelinheaven.com. It will launch at 12 Eastern on this coming Saturday. And also you can find it on Instagram at shopangelinheaven. Number two, I am doing another workshop on January the 30th at 11 a.m. Eastern, entitled Grief Unlocked Masterclass: How to Move from Feeling the Pain to Finding the Purpose. So when we're in this grief season, of course, we feel all of the pain, the sadness, the despair, the shoulda, woulda, couldas, the thoughts, the questions, everything that comes with the grief journey. But also with that, there is a purpose to the pain. I wholeheartedly believe that. And so there are some tangible resources and some things that we're going to be talking about. So if you are interested in taking part in this masterclass, you can go over to my Instagram page. It is the first link where you can tap and register. This is a free workshop, and I would definitely love to have you. It is, again, January the 30th at 11 a.m. Eastern. And Grief Unlocked: How to Move from Feeling the Pain to Finding the Purpose. So for today's topics, we are talking about finding your identity and speaking life. So finding your identity, I believe that, like I just led into, that this season of grief and losing a loved one, you feel like there's a part of yourself that's actually lost. That for me, speaking for myself, losing my parents, I felt that was going to be almost the tag that's put on my back, that I am this orphan. I am this, daughter that doesn't have her parents. I felt that was the brand that is going to be on me forever and always, because that's what's happened to me. And while that is something that has happened to me, I don't have to allow it to consume my life and my existence. And so what I want to share with you is that even though you may feel as though this is your identity, that I am, quote, branded as this person who has experienced this loss, I want you to know that you can move through that identity. We want to turn the page to how we see ourselves. So we don't want this loss to label us. We don't want this loss to be that tag that's on you forever, always. You want to begin to see yourself as the victor rather than the victim. And how do we do that? Well, that's just taking one step forward each and every day, committed to the process of knowing that if I continue to put one foot in front of the other, then I will be able to get through this loss. But as I've always said, we have to put tangible resources with this. We can't just say that we want the healing and not be willing to be active participants in our healing. So what does that look like? How do we begin to move from that tag that's put on us that we are this orphan, or we are a daughterless mother, a daughterless father? How do we begin to move from that? That's, again, just taking the steps forward of identifying that this is the loss that I have occurred. I understand that this is what happened to me, but I don't have to let it be me. And then beginning to take those steps forward as far as the resources to learn, to connect with others who are in this space as well, not to go through this by yourself, to know that I am not alone, to connect with support groups so you can go through this with others who are understanding where you are, because not everybody gets it. If they've never experienced this loss, then they may not be able to understand how you're truly feeling and how to process those thoughts and feelings. And then what I want you to do also is to remember this scripture that I gave out earlier this week, which is 2 Corinthians 12:9, which says that my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. There are going to be times where you don't feel the strength to be able to go through this. There are going to be times where you feel weak and it's like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to move past this. But we have to remember that we serve a God who promises to be our strength when we feel weak. Those are the times when we have to speak up and say, you know what? I'm not feeling this today. I am not able to get through this. God, I need you. Lord, will you please give me the strength to make it through this day? We ask for daily bread, right? Not weekly bread, not monthly bread, but we ask for our daily bread. And that's to give us through this day. And God promises to do that. And we'll wake up tomorrow and we'll ask for that same strength again. And so I just wanted to share with you that your loss does not have to be your identity. It does not have to be this brand that you walk in day in and day out. Yes, it happened to you, but we want to move to the other side of it and become a victor rather than a victim of this situation. All right. And then step 2 is to speak life. So the other point is to speak life. I believe that life and death really is in the power of the tongue. And it actually really starts before it reaches our mouths. It starts in our minds. As we think, that's the things that we begin to say. And so I believe that when we begin to shape our minds around the good things, being positive, speaking positivity out of our mouths, we're walking into those things that are positive. When we say, I'm going to get through this, this is not the end of my situation. I am a victor, not a victim. When we say these things out of our mouth, I believe that we walk forward and we step into those affirmations and those things that we speak. And so you have to believe before we receive. It starts in the mind, it comes out of the mouth, and then we begin to see with our own natural eyes. And so that's with just grief, and that's just with everyday life. We've got so many things that are happening around us. We've got, the inauguration that's happening tomorrow and everything that's happened the last couple of weeks. Coronavirus, the pandemic, the loss of jobs. There's so many things that could put us in a negative frame of mind. But if we begin to shape ourselves to remember that we're just going through this, we're just walking through. Nobody said that we're going to stay in this position, that we're going to continue to move through. And then we begin to affirm that by the things that we speak out of our mouths, we can begin to change our circumstance and our situations around us. All right. So that was today's 2 for Tuesday Grief Talk, finding your identity and speak life. If you just joined, I just want you to remember that we are doing a workshop on January the 30th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Grief Unlocked Masterclass, how to move from feeling the pain of grief to finding the purpose. If you are interested in partaking, this is a free event. Just go to my Instagram page and it is the first link once you click the link in my bio. Alrighty, that's all that I have today. I wish you a phenomenal week. Be blessed, and I will talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Hello, Clubhouse.